Hey friends, how are you? I am so excited to be here. My name is Nicole Henry. I'm a money energy expert and an NLP business strategist. Pretty much that just means I love talking all things money, all things buyer seller psychology, and I'm super excited to really dive into this money energy thing that people talk about. How I kind of got started was my son was severely ill with food allergies when he was born, allergic to all foods, vomit to shock, go blue, seizure-like activities. They didn't know what was wrong with him. Long story very short, we ended up healing him. Don't worry about that. But we had hundreds and thousands of dollars of medical debt. And I'm married to my middle school sweetheart, and we've always been super infatuated with each other. And we had this perfect relationship, but it really just takes one massive money crisis to really just drive your marriage down. And I really didn't think we were going to survive it. I didn't know what I was going to do. We tried the whole Dave Ramsey budgeting thing, and I mean, we had paid off probably half our debt in probably 2 years, and so that was awesome. But at that time, it still was so strainful. It would take one car tire to blow and it would take us in the hole again. It was always something. And I finally one day just committed, and I said, I am not going to let money be the reason that my marriage dies. I'm not going to let money be the reason that I don't live my life. And that's how I really started diving into this money energy concept, is budgeting, living on beans and rice. Strategy just was not for me. It was not working. It was not even practical, because at that time we had to spend $1,200 just on keeping my son's grocery list of food allergies like in the fridge at all times, because we couldn't live on beans and rice. And so we really dove into this money energy thing. When we decided to step into it, we were able to then start creating the money we needed to create as we were manifesting and really taking actions towards the opportunities that were coming our way. And we were able to pay off all of our debt within 3 months. So super awesome. That's why I'm passionate about talking about it. I could dive into that story a lot deeper, but I won't, just for time's sake, because I want to really just nail down and get going on really giving you the content that you want. I am hosting a class called Finance Your Destiny. It's a 5-week class going over nothing but money energy, making sure that you really get the results that you want with money. It's not just another fluff class. Sometimes when people think that I'm talking money energy, they think I'm talking like law of attraction type stuff, and there's so much more to that. I believe in the law of attraction, but I really believe in the law of action. And so for me, just really helping your brain understand money energy and how to actually take action steps towards the things you are manifesting. So I'm going to follow my notes so I don't get off track. If you guys have any questions, if you're watching the replay, let me know. If you have questions, comment them in the comment box and I will definitely answer. I know a lot of questions can come up when it comes to spouses or children, or how do you apply this to your business. And so I've been able to grow multiple 6-figure businesses using these strategies right here that I'm going to be teaching you. And if you can just understand them and dive in deeply, get ready. So the number one tip, which by the way, if you know me, I always over deliver, so I have way more than 3 more tips, but I'm going to give you the 3. The number one tip is you have to understand sabotage. So what I mean by that is I'm really good at recognizing people's cycles and patterns. A lot of people that work with me, I will be like, yeah, you're totally in a cycle right now. And they're like, oh my gosh, you caught that? Like, I didn't even recognize that. Because when you can understand the cycles of sabotage, you won't quit. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? So nice to see you live. But when you can understand the cycles of sabotage. So for example, I always explain it like this. Like God, universe, whatever you believe in, gives you inspiration to move towards something, whether that's your money goal, whether that's your business goal, whether that's the next big thing that you want to do. And all of these things will start to fall in place for you. And that's intuition, that's inspiration, that's God, whatever you want to call it, giving you your opportunity. Well, then what starts to happen is you start walking towards that goal and different sabotages will start to happen to people. And I'll explain the three types of sabotages that happen in this order every single time, sometimes all at once. But what starts to happen is then things will happen and you'll tell yourself, oh man, maybe it's a sign I should quit. Or maybe there's a price tag attached to it. Like people will be like, oh, I'm so inspired. I want to learn about this money energy stuff. And then I'll tell them about Finance Your Destiny. And it literally is like a couple $100 class. Like it's so super low cost. And people will be like, oh, well, not right now. I just don't have the money. I got to talk to my spouse. Like all of these excuses start to pop up. And I'm like, you were so inspired. Like God was telling you, like, this is what you need. And this opportunity came flat in front of you. And you literally just put a price tag on your inspiration, on God, on whatever it is that you want because of sabotage. So I'll tell you a little bit of a story. Every time I launch Finance Your Destiny, something horrible happens. It just is what it is. And it's part of life and it's part of growing a business. Sorry, I talk so fast because I get so excited. But it's part of growing a business. What happens is you're going towards this thing and mental sabotage is going to happen first. You're going to get anxiety. You're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to get stressed. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. Should I do this? Am I really a good leader? I don't know. You're going to get that mental sabotage. Then what happens next is you're going to get physical sabotage. So I'll start Finance Your Destiny. I'll get a little stressed. I'm like, oh my gosh, new people. I'm super excited. I'm excited for them to get results. But I'm a business owner. I still get those doubts. What if they don't get as big of results as the last class? What if they don't like it? You know, the stories we play in our head. But then I'll move over that and then I'll get physical sabotage. People start getting massive results. Most people, you know, they'll go from $0 to $20,000 in just 4 weeks. And some people $0 to $90,000 in 4 weeks off of this couple $100 class. But guess what? I'm driving to the post office one day, getting out of the house. Boom, a car pulls in front of me, a high schooler, and I totally nailed him. Totaled my car. It was his fault, don't worry. My kid's car seat, he had unbuckled the bottom part. He went flying. I broke bones. I had a newborn in the back. Massive physical sabotage that had happened to all of us. But guess what? That's what the negative energy or the devil or whatever you want to call it wants for me to stop doing this class. I was in the middle of launching it. I think it was the second week. And I told these people like, you know what, I'm going to keep going because this is physical sabotage. I've had people in my classes that they are pregnant and they get like pneumonia, but they're still showing up because I tell people when you're moving towards something you want, that dark energy is going to try to stop you mentally first. If you don't even overcome the mental, you're just done. You go back into your old cycle, do the same thing, you get motivated again. You start moving towards it, you get anxiety again, or you let the stress of it all stop you, and then you go back again. Then you move towards then you get past that, you'll move towards the physical, you'll get sick, or you'll be tired, or maybe your kids were up all night, and then you're going to say, oh, I can't work today because my child was up all night. Like you guys, this training, I know is going to be a big training for people. And I woke up and my throat was swollen. Like, I don't know if I have strep or what, but like in my mind, I can tap out of that because I know it's physical sabotage. You guys would not know right now. I am sicker than a dog today, like sicker than a dog. But guess what? I show up. I keep going because the more that I can move past it, the quicker I get over it. I know by the end of the day, I'll be over it because this is just sabotage. So then after the physical sabotage, then comes the social sabotage. This is where your husband tells you, you're changing. You're spending too much time working. Maybe one time I wrote a book and a group of moms got together and it's like, this lady's crazy, because I actually used to do gut health for kids, helping them with autoimmune and food allergies. And a group of moms went and spammed my book, calling me a baby killer. How dare I? Even though I had helped thousands of moms help their kids overcome food allergies. Like these people just, they were calling the government on me, like all of this stuff, massive social sabotage. Now, I'm not saying this is the sabotage that's going to happen to you. This is when I was already making multiple six figures. The stakes were bigger, all these different things. But what I will tell you is if you can't handle sabotage on a small level, you're not going to be able to handle it on a big level. For example, if you can't even overcome just maybe not sleeping last night and pushing through to do your sales calls today, or maybe, you had a fight with your spouse and he doesn't want you to invest in that next thing in your business, and you let that get you. You literally let your husband run your business because you can't stand for your business. Guess what? You're never going to reach the bigger sabotages. But the reason I tell you this is because some people like to talk about the fluff of business, and it's so easy to make multiple six figures, and it's so easy to grow your business. But I will tell you, it's not. Like just last week, my husband had to replace 8 tires on his semi. That's a lot of money. What else had happened? My children were sick. I just actually stepped out of a business that I was a part of that was no longer in alignment. So I actually kind of dropped my income back down to 0 for a minute. And you have to be willing to follow your intuition. You have to be willing to take these different steps that you need to take, no matter the sabotage, because I'm telling you, the sabotage just gets bigger. It doesn't get easier. The more money you make, it's not like you're going to be living on the beach drinking Mai Tais like everybody talks about. No, you get to live that lifestyle, but there's a lot of sabotage happening at the back end. And so I want you to really recognize sabotage. That is my first tip for you. My second tip for you, which by the way, if you're getting value from this, please comment below so I know that you are getting value from this, and I will know how long to keep going, or if you guys are tapped out and I'm overwhelming you, because I can overwhelm a lot. So tip number 2 is really celebrate which money cycle you're in. So I'm going to tell you about the different money cycles. I just printed it out. It's not on anything fancy because we're on Facebook Live here. But these are the different money cycles that you're going to go through. If you do not screenshot this right now, big no-no, screenshot this right this second. You're going to go through this period of time where you have no money, but you have all the time in the world. This is where people say you're happy and rich, or I mean happy and poor. Happy and poor. You're living the minimum wage, you're living paycheck to paycheck, but you're happy. Everything's fine until massive money sabotage happens. Then you're stressed and you're like, I don't know what to do. But this is where people are like, I just want to go back to being happy and poor. You have all the time in the world, but you literally have 0 money. Then you go to, you have no money, but no time. I tell people this is where a lot of people get stuck in business and they give up, especially if they're in network marketing or something. It's like that hustle stage. You're hustling, and you're like, I still have no money. If anything, I'm investing in coaches, I'm investing in classes, I'm investing in all this stuff, but I have no time. What is it? Why is it worth this? Maybe it's a sign I should quit. All of these things that it's your brain is telling you that is a lie. But what I will tell you is when you recognize these cycles, you know what's next. If you understand right here, you're in the hustle stage, but next to come is having money but no time, then it gives you a little bit of hope to keep moving forward. Because when you go to the next level of having money but no time, you're still hustling, but the money's starting to come in. You're starting to recognize, oh, wow, people really will pay for my stuff. Wow, people really will invest in me or my product or my service or whatever that looks like. And so the next stage is have money, no time, which means the next stage is have money, have time. And if you guys know what stage you're in, I would love to hear what stage you're in, because then I can dive a little bit deeper into that specific stage. But then you go into have money, have time. And when you're in have money, have time, this is where people perceive it as drinking, Mai Tais on the beach or whatever that looks like. I will tell you there's a period. There's a period of celebration where you start to really expand where you go on vacation. Really, maybe you go buy that more expensive new car. You start to reward yourself a little bit. But guess what? We're all entrepreneurs, so we're going to reinvest in our business over and over and over. So you literally relive. I don't think we ever go back to like no money, have time, unless you go through like an entrepreneur depression, which is real. Then you'll go back to that. But most of the time you'll go back to no money, no time. So for example, my husband owns a trucking company. We had paid off all that debt that we talked about, and then he decided one of his opportunities that came his way was no money, more time. Oh, I love that. Love that, because you know what's coming next. And I'll dive a little bit deeper into that in a minute. But anyways, my husband, so one of the opportunities was for him to start a trucking business. And so guess what? We had to go take out a $100,000 loan. You tell yourself what it takes in your mind to be like, we just paid off all this debt, and now we're going to go get a $100,000 loan to grow a business, hoping it works. So he did, it worked, he tripled his income, everything's great. But I want you to keep thinking about this. As entrepreneurs, we're constantly going through this cycle. He literally just is going through it again. He's hiring a new driver, so he's buying another $100,000 truck. So it's like, you have to understand that you never get to this point where it's like, you always have money. Even multimillionaires that I'm friends with, most of them are in real estate. Guess what? They have millions of dollars in debt in real estate that's making them money, because that $100,000 debt that my husband got us in, guess what, now brings us in $20,000 to $40,000 a month. You know what I mean? So it's worth that debt because you can pay it off. And so you have to start thinking differently, which kind of brings me to my next my next tip 3 is you have to choose courage over fear. You will not grow your business without risk. You will not grow your business without investment. I've seen so many people be like, okay, I want to hire a coach. I hired a coach. I totally got scammed. I'm never hiring a coach again. You guys, we just barely recently got scammed out of a $10,000 coach. Like, guess what though? I'm still going to hire coaches because I get that I need a coach to grow my business. I get that I need someone to teach me real estate if I'm going to invest in real estate. I understand that it takes courage over fear. I'm a very anxiety-based person. Like, fear runs me a lot and anxiety runs me a lot. And how I've learned to utilize that is I recognize it. I recognize that I have fear and anxiety. And so when it kicks in, I say, awesome, it's probably something I should do. And I say yes or no very quickly. Your intuition does not have to think. So when people tell me, oh, I'll think about it and get back to you, it shows me their commitment level is not very high, because you don't ever have to think about anything. Your intuition knows the answer. You just are too afraid to say yes or no, with giving yourself permission to back out if you change your mind later. That's okay. And so I want you to really start to think about, are you making fear-based decisions in your business? Because most people, they're like, I'm just going to test it out and see if it works. No. If you want to choose all in, if you really want to amp up your money energy, you have to be 100% clear that I am 100% committed. No matter what my husband says, no matter how chaotic my kids are being, no matter how sick I am, no matter what, because lives are going to be changed because of my product or service. You have to be 100% committed to your money energy for it to change. I believe in God. You can call it the universe or whatever, because I was atheist actually most of my life, but that's a whole nother story. I don't believe you get the next 10 steps. I believe you get the opportunity. And guess what? That's the law of attraction, you manifesting and creating it. But guess what? You still have to take action towards it. And it's like, if you take action towards it blindly, not knowing here, guess what? You're going to make it to that next level. Something new is going to drop in. You're going to make it to the next level. Something new is going to drop in. And you take it step by step. You never have the next 10 answers. Like, we're hiring this second driver for my husband's business. We don't have a clue if it's going to work out. We just know that's the next step. So we're going for it, and we're taking out another $100,000 loan. You know what I mean? Because we've already paid down this loan. And also same in my business. When I very first started growing my business, I knew that I needed more time. Like, I was like, if I want to make money, I need more time. I have 2 young kids and it's just not working. But I was not making very much money, maybe, a couple $100, $1,000 inconsistently. Like whatever that looks like. Sorry, my nose itches. I'm telling you guys, I really am sick. But I knew I needed to hire a nanny, but I was like, there's no way I can afford a nanny. And then I had a coach tell me, well, if you hire a nanny, you're obligated to pay that nanny, and now you're going to go work harder, and now you have more time to work harder because somebody has your kids. And guess what I did? I hired the nanny, not having a clue how I was going to pay her. Guess what? I ended up tripling my income that month because I took it more serious. I ended up making more sales. I had more time to work, and I had to pay her. And so I think a lot of you don't put yourself in sink or swim situations. And so you're playing it safe and hoping that these little small action steps are going to create you money, and it doesn't. It just doesn't. I would love to tell you, yes, it will create you so much, but you're going to plateau. Eventually you need employees. Eventually you need to grow to the amount you want to grow to. But what I'm telling you is you get to take it step by step by step. I didn't start out, investing $100,000. I started out investing $5,000. Did I have the money for it? Heck no. Was my husband going to help me? Absolutely not. I said, awesome. This is what I'm doing. I'm going and taking out my own credit card. Tough luck. Like, I'm taking myself serious. I don't need anybody else to validate me. If you want to see change in your family, you have to be the one to go first. You have to be the one to step up and change your money energy, or it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. Instead, we want validation, and we want to convince our husband so that we don't have to take full responsibility if we fail. And that's why so many women struggle in business, is because they're looking for validation, when the feminine energy is creation. You are in creation energy. It can come at ease for you, but it's not going to come in this breadwinner, macho way. It's going to come in, I'm going to step in my intuitive way, what intuitively feels right. That's why one size fits all stuff does not work for women entrepreneurs. You have to find that personalized help and that personalized strategy that's really going to help you in your business. So those are the 3 tips I'm going to give you, but I will give you some bonus things. 2 bonus things I'll give you, because I'm not seeing too much engagement. So I'm just going to say I've overwhelmed you guys. I'm going to keep going, but I'm only going to give you 2 more tips so that I don't super overwhelm you. Number 1 is you have to think like a unique and successful person. The way a unique and successful person thinks is way different. This was really hard for me because I surrounded myself a lot at the beginning with stay-at-home moms. Not a bad thing, hardest job in the world. I could never do it. But I mean, I guess I technically do, like my kids are home while I'm working, but I don't consider myself a stay-at-home mom. But what I will tell you is I was trying to get validation from my friends. I was trying to think like, well, I'm a bad mom if I hire a nanny. Well, I'm a bad mom if I don't do the dishes and I hire someone to do the dishes. I'm a bad mom if I make my husband work all week and then come home and do laundry with me or clean the house. Like right now, you guys, while I'm working, my husband got off yesterday. He's downstairs doing the dishes, cleaning the house. Like, why? Because I work hard too. I do it during the week. He does it on the weekends. Like I'm not afraid to ask for help. At the beginning I was, though, because I was surrounding myself with moms, which meant I looked like a bad mom. I looked like I was always getting sitters for my kids, but I understand that my brain and people that live at a different level think differently. They think I want to have quality time. I don't want to try to do it all. When I'm 100% with my kids, I'm 100% with my kids. But when I'm 100% at work, you guys, I'm 100% with you guys right now. My husband's cleaning the house, my kids outside, like everyone else is taken care of. but they know they are not to interrupt me unless it's an emergency. Like no ifs, ands, or buts at all. And so I had to shift that mindset of being like, well, I'm not a bad wife. I'm not a bad mom. And you have to realize if you want to be successful, you have to think like a successful person. And so look at the people you surround yourself with. If you do, they have the things you want? Do they have the money you want? Do they have the lifestyle that you want? Heck, do they even have the marriage you want? Because I think sometimes we take advice from people that don't really have what we want, which is most of the time your family. Because I was raised by a stay-at-home mom, so we just do habits of, well, this is what I'm supposed to be like. So if I want to grow a business too, I also have to grow a business and carry all this other stuff with me. You cannot grow a business without dropping stuff. You cannot. And that's what I'm telling you. You have to think like a unique person. You should not be doing these $10 to $12 hour jobs that you could hire out. You shouldn't be mowing your lawn, doing dishes, doing all these things, because you could be making money while somebody else is doing that, and now you're supporting someone else. And so I want you to just, I get I'm talking about the extreme for some of you. Like some of you are like, because I get it, I'm an NLP practitioner. I get how your mindset works, and you're rejecting a lot of what I'm saying right now, and that's okay. Just be open to whatever is resonating with you. That's what you're supposed to pick up, because that's what you're ready to pick up. You know, you might not be ready to hire out. Okay, but maybe you just ask for help. So take it at whatever level you need, because everybody is different. That's why I say no one size fits all, but you do have to start taking steps. Maybe what's that one thing you need to let go of? Maybe what's that one thing that you need to kind of drop? And so that's what I would tell you there. My second bonus thing, and the last thing I'm going to talk to you about, is a spending plan versus a budget. The B word is not allowed in my house. Budgets are bad, 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 bad. I will just tell you that over and over and over. When you are doing a budget, you're literally taking, this is how much money we have, and let's bring it down to zero. You're literally consciously sucking your money energy down the drain constantly. So you have to understand what a spending plan is. So a spending plan, well, I'll go more into that in Finance Your Destiny, but what I'll tell you what it is it's how do you create the money? Look at what do I want my lifestyle to be? What do I want this month? Do I want to get nails? Do I want to get lashes? Do I want to serve that mom like a house full of groceries? Like, what is it? Like, is that you want? And then you put next to it, how much is all this going to cost me? And then you put your needs at the very bottom, because remember, you have to put yourself in sink or swim. You take care of all your other stuff, all your wants and all the things you want in life first. I promise you, you will not let yourself starve. You will not let yourself not have a house. And you figure out, how do I create? Because when you realize and you really add up, maybe you do want a jet, or maybe you just want to be able to go out to eat whenever you want. Maybe you want to be able to create, a foundation where you serve sick kids, like whatever that looks like for you. You have to realize, how much is it really going to cost you? Well, a new car might cost you $30,000. Okay, that means you got to start thinking, if I need to create $100,000 next month, what would my action steps be? Your action steps would be way different than, oh, I just got to meet this $1,000 goal or $5,000 goal. Your action steps are going to be a lot differently. And it's because you're no longer in this, budget mindset of sinking it down. You're in this creation, and you're focusing on what you want to manifest. And so that's what I'll tell you about that, is budget versus spending plan. Do not do a budget. And I've worked with people whose husbands are accountants. Oh, they're the hardest to break, but it's possible. You can still be organized and ordered with your money. You just don't want to run your money down to zero. Like, you just don't. Like, my money is very organized. I take so much out for taxes. I take so much out for giving. I take so much out for all these other like little things. Like, I have a vacation plan, but I don't live on going down to zero ever. Like, there is never going to be zero in my budget. There's never going to be a red line in my bank account, because if I'm focused on that red line, like, I remember when there used to be red lines, and I would literally print the paper out and like put black lines on it, because I'm like, I'm going to train my brain. You have to understand how to train your brain to create money. And if you cannot train your brain to create money, and I don't mean fluff stuff, I mean hardcore rewiring your neurological self to retrain your brain to create money, you will never create money. You are always going to go back into those cycles. And remember, when I talked about cycles, think of walking down this straight line, and now you are like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. But now you hit all these sabotages that we talked about, and they're like, nope, I'm just going to turn around. You literally just made your journey double the time. Versus if you just get your butt kicked and keep moving forward in the way you need to move forward. So I hope you guys got lots of value out of this. If you did, please comment below. Let me know where you're at, what I can help you with, how I can serve you. But I also tell people I never want to leave them on a ledge. So for anybody in this group, I am hosting right now, starting Monday, a Finance Your Destiny class. It's a 5-week course where there's 5 weeks of training, 5 weeks of live Q&A, where I actually get to literally personally help you with your journey no matter where you're at. Because there's some people already making 6 figures, some people that are stay-at-home moms. And so I get to personally help you tweak the content for you. And then from there, you get daily accountability. You cannot not make money. Like, you have to. Like, you literally, as a rule, I have so many rules to hold you so tight that you cannot fail. I've only ever had 2 people fail, and it's because they dropped out because they did not like the pressure that I put on people to actually have to make money. I am not a fluff, love, like happy coach. I'm gonna bust you through your cycles to actually get you the results you've been wanting, so you can live the lifestyle that you want, so you can stop taking courses, stop taking all this fluff stuff that is just not working. You're not actually applying it. So you have action steps you have to do every day. You have accountability that you have to do every day. And then obviously you have my support. You have a Facebook support group. You have a team that you're going to work with. You have tracking, all of this stuff. So if it's something you're interested in, just private message me and say, I'm from Courtney's group, so that I can give you the special pricing that I'm particularly giving her, her group, since she's helped me so much in growing my business, and showing up on Instagram and stuff like that. And so I want to serve and give you guys back a really special deal. So just message me, private message me. I'll get you that content. But thank you for letting me teach you. I hope you got lots of value. Literally, you could take this information and go create 6 figures by just changing these things in your brain and in the way that you live, to not get stuck when it comes to money. So, bye.